Hello everyone, welcome to episode 19 of our Pure Logic playthrough of the Artisan of Glimmith. We solved 179 puzzles so far. We are working on the Polyomino section. We're going to just keep plowing through this. These puzzles, we have to just draw regions, and whatever shape is in there, we've got to match that shape. So I'm just going to do some simple little pattern matching here. And this is the one we'll start with right here. This has to be in the shape of a T tetromino. The only way that's going to work is like this. This one now has the same problem. The only way it's going to make it is like that. This one, it looks like it has a handful of different ways. You could do this or this. But the problem is, if I come and take this square, I'm not taking this square, and this becomes orphaned. So I can't take this square, so as soon as I have to draw that, that ends this just like that. That forces this one up. This has to also be a tetromino, a T tetromino, so we have to do that. This one, that's forced. All right, so this, we have the same problem. If I take this one, this is orphaned, so this has to grow that direction, and this one then grows that direction. And that's the puzzle. All right, we got a puzzle way back here, it looks like. Got some weird looking shapes. Very weird looking shapes. How am I gonna fit these in here? So we can rotate them, we can mirror them, all that kind of stuff. So let's see, this one has got really one of two options. It's either that's option number one, or it's this. That's option number two. Is this actually viable? I'm gonna say no. That, broken. That, not quite broken. That could do that. But this is broken, right? There's no way to do this. So that doesn't work. So this one, now I said there's two ways. It doesn't have to be this. What I meant is it's either the long line is on the top or the long line is on the bottom. Because the long line can't go vertical because the long line has to be 5 tall. And it's only for the grid's only 4 tall. So these 4 are definitely part of it. Which brings us to this one. This is a 4 by 3. One of the links has to be 4 long, and one of them has to be 3 long, and it has to go through this. So if it goes something like this, I've got to make this 3 long. I can't take that square. That doesn't work. I can make this 4 long, and then I can either grab it down here or up here. Either of those work. But I think regardless, I think I do have to grab this, which means this does extend out that way, which means that grabs this. Which does put a lot of pressure on this one. I feel like that's, I don't know. Or this one. Oh, I mean, is this it? Let's get our colors. This is that shape. Yeah. That's it. That's the 4 space, and they all come together nice in the center. All right. Where are all the puzzles? Oh, here's one over here. They hide these things. All right, this has to be an S, so that's going to be like this. This has to be an L. This has to be that. This has to be that. This has to be, there we go. Ah, here's one. All right, square in the corner. 1x4 can't go to the side, so we'll make it go up. This is an S. That's the only way S fits in here. This cannot go there because it breaks that one, so it's going to go this way. This one, it could take that and go out here. It doesn't have to, though. This S could go here, could go here as well. That could go that direction. This being an S, this is hard. This has to go like that, which now makes this one very forced. No, it doesn't. I could go like here. I do have to take this. This is forced. I can't grow there, so this has to go here. This has to be the S. This has to grow up. There's the S. It says we're missing two more. Ah, here's one. Oh my goodness. All right, that's a 1. I got one, folks. And the rest are 1x3s. This is a 1x3. Either has to go vertically or horizontally. It's a 6x6 grid. So this one has to go horizontally. So this one has to come out at a minimum. This one has to come out. One of these will take, so this puzzle's, sorry folks, we muted ourselves accidentally here. So I'm going to come back and do the voiceover. So what I'm doing to explain this puzzle, there's symmetry in this puzzle that we've noticed, and somehow the symmetry has to propagate down to the 2 blank squares in the bottom. And so we're looking at, okay, if this the orange region were to take the corner square, that would force the purple region down, which would then force these regions at the bottom to be horizontal. It would force those regions in the middle to be horizontal. It would force the region up here to be horizontal, the region at the top to be horizontal, and then we have a region coming down horizontal, and now we would be forced there, and now we have broken the puzzle, telling us that this is not the right solution. So if we had the other direction the purple takes, then we have the same logic going the other directions. Those have to be vertical. These have to be vertical. That has to be vertical. There, horizontal, and the 2 ones. Now, I'm looking at this. I was like, okay, we did this through a bifurcation method. Is there a way we could do this puzzle without having to bifurcate to solve it? Like, is there a underlying logic element here? And looking at this puzzle, we see that it's a 6x6 grid, which means there are exactly 12. Like if all of these were 1x3s, it would be 12 1x3s in the grid to make 36. However, we know for sure that one of them is not a 1x3 because it's told it's a 1, which means the leftover squares also can't be 1x3s. It won't work. So really we know that the blank squares are separate regions at the bottom. They have to be. Otherwise, the math just doesn't math. And as soon as we know that, we can say, okay, that's a region. This is a region. And now we can come back to, let's apply the logic. Well, that has to be a 1x3. That has to be a 1x3. That has to be a 1x3. That forces that to the top. That has to be 1x3. That has to be 1x3. That's extended. That's extended. And we get to the solution. I think that's a cleaner approach. So I'm glad we went back and revisited the logic. Sometimes we play around with the logic and then we come back and get the solution. All right, we're going to scour here, see if we can find... These puzzles are so hidden. I don't know why they... yeah, I already did that one. They make them so hard to find in here. Let's keep looking. Oh, there's one. All right. Bunch of 1x3s and 1x2s. That one has to be that way. That one has to be that way. Don't know about that one. That one's going to come out. That has to come up. So this 1x3 can't go horizontal, so it's got to go vertical. That 1x3 can't go horizontal, so it has to go vertical. So that 1x2's vertical as well. That 1x3 is vertical. That 1x2's vertical. That 1x3 is horizontal. 1x2's vertical. Vertical, horizontal. That's it. Yeah. Hey, we made a gold. We got a gold. Now. All right, let's go ahead and just do the big puzzle here in the middle. So this puzzle, it looks like they divided the board up into multiple regions here. And the key of this puzzle, we can see like this region right here, I just close off. That's a size 10. All of the shapes that have to go into this puzzle are tetromino shapes. So they take up exactly 4 squares. That's a 10 region. So 2 shapes will only use up 8. So we need the shape that comes from the outside to use 2 of the shapes inside the inside this region. If we make that go down, that breaks it off. So that is how that S is done. And then we just finish that out with the T and the other S. Let's come to the top one. It is 8, which tells us that it's exactly 8. So that has to be there's actually two exact shapes that go in there. So we can break this region off, close it off, and then find the shapes that will fit. So close it off. It is 8. Looking for the pattern here. And it's a T and an S. Over on the side, this one is 11. So it needs 3 of the ones. Basically, it's going to take 1 extra. So that is going to have to, there we go. So if we just include this in, so it's either going to have to come down like that, come up like this, come over, but this doesn't work. Because it always breaks that top part off. So it's going to have to either go up or go down. If we make it go up, we're essentially going to end up with an S and a square, which is not one of the valid shapes. If we go down, we get 2 S's. Those are valid shapes. So that's the solution there. All right, well, let's go look here in the bottom right. This one is 13, so it is 1 extra. So that is how we do that. So now we can just fill in the shapes. There's a S. And then no matter what we do here, we can't make that a T or an S or an L or any kind of thing like that. It has to be an L horizontal, make the other L. And now we're stuck in the middle. That's going to be a T. Only way we can make that. Force the bottom into a T as well. Force the S onto the left side. That's going to be an S going up somehow. That's going to have to grow that direction. That's going to have to grow that direction. They could connect. And they actually do have to connect because otherwise it would have to be an S if it grew. So there's the S. There's the L. That's it. All right. We hit that one. Let's do one more pass. Can we find any more hidden puzzles? Oh, they're so tricky with the hiding of these puzzles. Where could they be? Looking underneath. Oh, there's something back there. Let's look over here. Oh my goodness, there it is. We found one. All right. So we got to place these digits into the puzzle. We got the 4, the 3, the 6, the 1. And these are big. So they're gonna have to be quite interwoven. So we're looking at the 4 here first. And if we do something like that, that just creates all kinds of problems. Creates problems for the 3, creates problems for the 6. That just, isn't going to go anywhere. If we go the long ways, instead of making a 4, I have made an F. That calls for some F's in the comments, I think. We definitely failed our ability to rotate and flip a 4. And when we correct it, we realize that doesn't work. It's not going to overlap it, so we have to lower it 1. And that's going to mess up everything. Even if we drop the 3 down, like the 6 is toast, nothing there is going to work. Absolutely nothing. Any line on this is just going to create problems. So we're going to have to come down. We're going to have to come down. Looking at the 3. Can't go vertical. It'll hit the 6. If we go horizontal, that's going to break the 1. If you do a 3, anything like that, that breaks the 4. Any kind of 3 in the middle, that breaks everything. Except for the 1. The 1's okay, but other than the 1, everything else is just completely broken. So any kind of 3 in the middle like this just doesn't work. I'm doing a 6 like that. That breaks the 3 and the 4 and the 1. Not the 1. The 1's okay. The 1's always okay. Almost. But that doesn't work. So we'll go back to the 4 here. We can't use any of those. So we're stuck with the 4. The only thing that does work for the 4 is this vertical line. So let's start with that. That's the only thing that doesn't break anything. It could go up. We could go backwards like this, but that breaks the 6. So let's look at the 3. If we put the 3 at the bottom, then the 1 would have to come up. The 4 would fit inside the 3. And the 6 wraps around the 4. And we finally found the orientation. So really it was focusing on that 3. All right, any more puzzles down here? Any more? We already did that one. Looking. They hide these things. So why do they hide these puzzles so hard? I just want to play the game. I'm over here spending all my time searching for puzzles. Okay. Yeah, we got some plus, we got +2 on it. Some of them are +2, some of them are +3s. So I don't know if they're standard or if, sometimes some puzzles have more puzzles than the other. But we did get a +2 on the Polyomino. And I can't find any more puzzles. So I think we are at the point where we're ready to start the next section. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this section. I'm not going to do the playthrough. We're going to wait for the next video. It's going to be a shorter video, but it looks like we have this mingled shape, which is neighboring regions must have different shapes. So I'm just basically taking, it's going to be essentially having a delta rule between all the regions. All the regions have a delta rule. So anyways, we're not going to solve that puzzle this time. We'll come back to it next time. So we are going to wrap this up at this point in time. This is a good place to stop. I don't want to get into a new session while a new puzzle. We'll save that. And we'll just give some of your time back. I've kept you long on some of the other videos, so we'll make it a short video this time. And if I do happen to find another one of these random puzzles, we'll just have to sneak it back in. But anyways, folks, we are going to call it here. Even as I'm desperately trying to see, is there a puzzle? Is there a puzzle? If there is, I don't find it. So I'm desperately searching. So we'll just have to stop right here. But thank you so much. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I do hope to see you in the next one, folks. I do appreciate the support. Leave a comment what you thought. I messed early, and we'll see if we can do better. Bye, everyone.